Hi everyone, and welcome to the BoldChess show. I'm your host Roland, and in this video we'll feature the best human-like chess engine, Maia Chess, M-A-I-A. Maia Chess is a human-oriented chess engine. It tries to understand the human play rather than optimal play or finding the best move. It has been created by the scientists at the University of Toronto. It uses deep learning to play moves similar to human beings at specific rating levels. It's basically used for chess training and research into human chess behavior patterns and how would the human respond to every position encountered at specific rating levels. We have multiple flavors of Maia Chess from 1100 to 1900. In this video, we will play against the Maia Chess. We'll play against its strongest version at 1900 to see how it plays and to keep the video as educational as possible. We will analyze all lines, and we will also understand how this engine is different than other top engines that we have featured in the past. I would like to remind the viewers that we have a complete chess academy designed for improvements and targeted for players below the rating of 2000s. If you would like to master openings, endgames, tactics, positional motives, and you need complete plans and checklists on how you can improve in chess, this program might be of interest to you. Visit us at BoldChess.com to learn more about this chess improvement program. Very well, here we are at the chessboard at leadchess.org. We are going to challenge Maia 9, which is the best version of Maia Chess. You can find it on leadchess.org, and you just need to add it as a friend, and then you can challenge it to a game. I will have a comfortable rapid format, which is 15 plus 5. This should be fine. I'll keep it casual. I will play as white. Let's get started. So I'll start with d4, and let's see what Maia Chess will give us. He played the knight to f6. Now here we have a number of options. I'm going to go with the London system, which is one of the best openings that we teach at our academy as well. Since this video is going to be educational, it would be nice to feature this opening in this video. So I'm going to go with bishop to f4, which is the second move in the London system. Maia Chess responded by g6. And now we need to see which would be the best order. I usually like to go with the knight to f3 here. Developing the knights and the bishops is always a good idea. Maia Chess is playing in a very good way as well. He is preparing for castle kingside in this position. I will proceed with my London system ideas. Basically, in this position, you have multiple moves. You can play e3, you can go with the knight to c3, or you can go with the knight to d2 as well. All options are available. I would like to start with e3, which is a very principled approach in the London system opening. Maia Chess responded by d6 in order to block our bishop, and maybe in the future he would like to play e5. It can be an option. Now in this case, I will develop my bishop as well and to prepare for castle kingside. So I will go with bishop to. There are multiple squares. E2 works. D3 also works. Going to go with D3. And as expected, Maia Chess did the castle. We will do the same. So far, the position is equal. He's playing very sensible moves. I'm not able to see any blunders or mistakes from his side. Let's see if we can keep this going. What can we do here in this position? I would like to develop my rook here to e1, centralize the rocks. I think he can do the same as well as expected. He is following with the best chess principles. And now, since our rook is placed at e1, we can push the pawn directly without any delay to e4. I think he might also challenge the center. Exactly, he challenged the center to e5, attacking our bishop and our pawn. We have to capture back. I think this is the most proper move. We cannot leave him to control the center. We have to act. So he captured back. He's still attacking our bishop. Now, we need to move the bishop. We have a number of squares. We have the e3. We have g5. We also have g3 is an option, but it's a bit passive. I prefer to pin the knight and escape with the bishop at the same time. He pushed his pawn to attack my bishop. I will retreat backwards in this case to e3. Because going to h4 might trigger him to move to g5, but it's not going to get me anywhere. He moved his knight to g4. Very well. We'll have to think carefully here whether to allow this capture or not. We cannot allow this capture. I'm not liking the idea of exchanging my bishop to his knight. We can protect the bishop instead of leaving the rook to be the piece to capture back. So possible moves can be the queen to c1 can be an option. Even a queen to d2 is an option, but I do prefer not to give up on my bishop in case he is going forward with the exchange. I think that's the only reason why he pushed the knight to g4. So I will retreat to d2. This will ensure that he cannot capture my bishop, and I will keep both bishops on board. This is really important, at least in according to my style of playing. At the beginning of the game, when I play the London system, I don't like to give up my bishops for the knights. So he pushed his knight to c5. Let's see. He is interested to capture one of our bishops. And I would prefer not to give up on the bishop. So I will move my bishop to c4. Let's see if he's going to continue with the attack. He moved the pawn to c6, which is a calm move. Very well. What can we do in this position? Let's develop the knight to c3. All right, so he moved his queen to b6, attacking our pawn at b2. Very well, we will defend the pawn with our queen. So far, I think the position should be equal, more or less. Nothing is happening. It's a closed game overall. He challenged our bishop. Have to assess whether to capture or not, but capturing was not going to result us in any advantage. I do prefer to keep my bishop on board, so I will move it to e2. This seems to be a sensible square. Very well. He moved his other rook to d8. Our bishop is not under attack, of course, because it's defended by the queen. So we'll need to see how can we improve our position here. We are a bit pushed back. He's taking control of the center as well. I think h3 can be a move here. Let's start by kicking the knight. And then I will improve the position of my bishop. I will move it to e3. This will also pin the knight to the queen. If he moves the knight to any position, his queen will be under attack. Very well, let's see what we can do now. I think there is a tactic here. I'm thinking instantly of a4, but we need to evaluate carefully. He cannot capture my knight because his queen is under attack, and at the same time I'm attacking his knight and his queen. Seems to be a sensible move. I would like to go with it right away. So he moved his queen to a5. Let's see if we are not missing anything here. Is there any attack? He is only attacking our knight, but our knight is planning to capture his knight anyway, so it should be fine. Let's go for it. Now this pawn is under attack, so he has to retreat back to defend the pawn. And this should be the best move. He should not allow this pawn to be captured and activate this fork. Otherwise, we would win the game instantly. Now we need to see what we need to do here. Thinking of possible options. c3 is an option. I'm also calculating d2 to see if I can challenge his queen and simplify the position. But we have the rook here. So this is not even an option. We need to keep an eye on all the squares. It can be an idea if we can somehow block the path of this rook, which is not possible at the moment. We can move the bishop to d3. Let's see what would happen if we move the bishop. Is there any problems here? We move the bishop and maybe we can push the queen later on. The idea is that my knight here is not doing anything at the moment. And my bishop is tied protecting the knight. So it might be best, in fact, to remove this attack from my knight since it's not able to do much here in this position. All squares are blocked. Maybe it would be best to retreat back to b3. This is a very calm move, but at the same time, it releases my bishop. I don't want my bishop to keep on being tied to protect this knight if he decided to keep his queen at a5. So he retreats with his queen. Let's see. Now, our idea was to moving the bishop can be an idea here. I think it should be fine. We are also protecting the pawn. Very well. Is queen d2 an option here? Let's evaluate. If we move the queen to d2, he might simply capture our pawn here. Because we cannot capture back, the rook is eyeing on this file. So this is a very bad idea. What else can we do? The knight to d2 can be an option. And anything else? There is very little maneuvering moves I'm able to find here. Or maybe we can start pushing these pawns and attack the queen side. I'll start with a4. Let's just keep it simple. Very well. Since my knights are not doing anything here, I really need to readjust their positions. I'll start with this knight to d2. This way I will need to reposition my knights. See how I can improve their positions. Then I will move my knight to c4. Get a new position for my knight. At f3 it was doing nothing. Need to see how to improve its position. Now I'm not very sure what was the point of f4. Let's evaluate this carefully. If we capture the knight, he will capture back. And then I think we can simply capture here. I'm not seeing any problems in capturing the knight. And keeping his knight at f4 is... I didn't like the idea of centralizing his knight. My bishop is not able to do much here. So taking the knight off in a closed position can be a sensible idea. He has to capture back, of course, and my queen cannot capture, of course, the pawn because of his queen is eyeing on this. So I will slide my queen to d1. A possible future square can be at f3, but let's see what he has in mind. So he moved the bishop to e6. Let's see. I think I will continue with my original plan to f3. Very well, the pawn to g5. My knight here is doing nothing at the moment. I need to improve its position. I'm not able to... It's not doing anything. These squares are all taken. So I would like to rotate it maybe to d2 can be an option. Much better square for my knight. When you don't know what to do in a specific position, it would be best to just play a sensible move that improves the position of your pieces. This is a very simple chess principle that is extremely effective, and it would greatly help you to improve your games. Now, in this case, I can simply push the pawn to e5. After he pushed his king to h8, my pawn is protected by the knight and by the rook. My queen is more active right now, so things are much better. He is attacking my queen with his last move to d5. I need to block this attacker, and the best way to block it probably either to block or to move the queen. Let's just evaluate. Moving the queen in one position is h5, or we can block and simplify. Maybe we can block with the bishop. I would like to block with the bishop and see if he's going to capture back or not. He did not capture, he retreats. Now I will centralize my rocks. I'll move my other rock to d1. It's a very sensible move, very easy to find. We have two rocks protecting our pieces. Very well. His rook to d4. Let's see what we can do here. Should we... What is the point? We can simply move our knight right now since our pawn is guarding it. There is no other problems here. I don't see any problem. He cannot capture this pawn, of course, because I will be attacking his rook. Seems to be a very sensible move. He will move the rook, I think, to d8, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he moved the rook to d8, indeed. And now I will try to kick this rook out. But wait, let's see, is there anything else we have here? Is kicking the rook the best way around it? This pawn is hanging. Maybe I can just challenge his queen and rook. What would be the problem here? Do we have a clean fork here? I think we do have a clean fork. I think this is a clean fork, unless if I'm missing something. He captured the pawn, but that's all right. I will capture the knight, the rook, I mean, with my knight. I didn't understand his last set of moves. Why he did not. I was expecting him to play differently. Now let's see what we can do here. I will just play simple. I will push the pawn to b3. Okay, the queen to d6. My knight can jump now to c4 and attack his queen. If he captures back, I can simply capture the bishop and simplify the position since I'm up in material. Should be a fine move. My rook here is protected by both the rook and the queen, so it's totally fine. So he captures, then I will capture back with the pawn. He cannot capture back, of course, because my rook is attacking his queen. I think he will capture my rook here, just as simple as that. Oh, that's weird. He did actually capture the pawn. Did I miss anything here? Did I miss anything? I don't think so. It's just a mistake, pure mistake. I will capture the queen. And I think this is an easy position to win. He played extremely well for the most part, but then at some point it seems that he started blundering and under pressure. We did not play anything weird here in this position. We were just playing sensible moves. I will move my bishop now to c6. And I will open the path for my rook. I will simply capture his rook and simplify the position since I'm up in material. I have to speed up as well because I will only have 1 minute on my clock. So I will need to keep it fast. I will move my queen to d5. Very well. Let's see what we can do here. I will push the rook and then we'll start capturing these pawns and win the game. Capture the first pawn. My king is perfectly safe here. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll push my queen to d7. and attack this pawn. Now my rook and my queen are eyeing on this pawn. There's very little he can do about it. It's just about converting the position. And in this case, he just played the bishop to d4, allowing me to checkmate him because the game is over anyway. This has been a very interesting match. It illustrates the power of Maia Chess. Now on Rapid he is at 1700, but that's because he played lots of games against other online players. But the data set that he practiced on are games that are mostly in the 1900 range. And overall, now if we analyze the game, we will see what kind of mistakes he did and what kind of inaccuracies we did as well. So this can also be interesting to see how this game unfolded. This is the latest version of Stockfish 17. This is the best version at the time of this recording. We will get a very accurate analysis here to see how this game went. So we had 5 inaccuracies. He did the 3 blunders and 3 mistakes and 2 inaccuracies. That's a lot of blunders for a 1900 chess engine, but still, let's see what were the best moves in this position. Moving on, we played the London system. Here the engine is recommending c4. I played suboptimal, not the most aggressive sequence, but this is all like passable moves. We are developing our pieces to sensible squares. Stockfish here is recommending c4. We exchanged pieces here. We moved our bishop, we moved it back, and we kept on. He was adding very good pressure here. Is playing extremely good, almost like Stockfish. Up to this position where his bishop was an inaccuracy, the best move according to Stockfish was to actually capture the pawn. And this is a very interesting sequence, because if I capture back with the king, his knight can move. It will enable this kind of discovered check, and it will attack my queen. And this would be a game over for me pretty much. So I did not see this tactic. I did not see the idea that he can actually capture my pawn. And in this case, the best reply would be the bishop and not to capture back. Anyway, he did not see this move. He moved his bishop. And I did not play the best move either. The best move from my side was supposed to be f1. I did not see that. It's very difficult for a human player to see f1. It looks like the bishop is very passive, but in fact, it's just a fine square. It leaves the rook protecting the pawn, and it can jump back to the game anytime. It seems to be the best move in this position. Then we have rook to d8. h3 was not a good move from my side. I should have played in this position a4. a4 followed by, I mean, h3 works, a5 works. There's lots of moves here. Retreating the knight is a blunder. He should have just captured the bishop. And the idea being that if I capture back, he can capture this pawn and activate the same tactic that we have seen previously. I will need to move the queen, and then he will capture the second pawn. When I capture back and he captures, I have to capture the queen. And in this position, it seems to be that still equal overall, but the black has a better control over the center. His pieces are much more active as well. The second mistake was the king to h7. This does nothing to the position. It does not improve. The best way was to continue is with the queen to a5, adding pressure on my knight here. This would be the best move for black. Our knight was a fine move here. The best move was rook to b1 though, according to Stockfish. And moving the queen was a mistake. He should have captured with the knight. And then the rest of the game went on um, pretty normally. We played sensible move, probably not the best moves according to Stockfish, but we played passable moves. My move to queen f3 was not a good move. Stockfish was recommending the knight to d2. Let's see this line. What was the idea? So after the rook, we push the pawn, and then we probably will rotate the knight to a different square at some point, and then we move to f3. Very well. So this is a much more active position. It capitalizes on the advantage much more aggressively. It repositions the knight to a better square. Definitely something I did not account for. I saw the idea of f3, but the sequence was not the best. G5 is not the best move here. Stockfish is recommending that he needs to push on with his queenside pawns. Very well. And then the rest of the game was about converting our advantage. Just going to feature the rest of the moves. There's not much of comments here in this position until we get the rook to c4. He should have, according to Stockfish, he should have kept the position as it is here without capturing back, and he should have just either pushed the pawn or moved the king. So this was, I think, the most major blunder in this game, where he cannot recover anymore after I capture the queen. There is nothing he can do. Of course, yeah, the best move, according to Stockfish, is to check the king already and start. We have a checkmate in 5, which I did not see, and basically we align the queen and the rook to add as much pressure as possible, and then we push the bishop. Is such a nice checkmate pattern. And then once we take the pawn, we can simply capture the bishop and checkmate the king. This is the fastest way to finish the game. I did not see that. I saw a very slow options, but all options would win in this position. It's very simple to convert. And here probably I should have captured directly instead of capturing the pawn. I was playing a bit fast. I had only 1 minute on my clock. But either way, the checkmate was extremely near and in sight. We hope you enjoyed this match. Hope it was educational enough. I highly encourage you to play against Maia Chess, especially the 1900 version, Maia 9. If you are a club player below the rating of 2000s, this is a great opponent to play against. It feels like a human being, it blunders like human beings. And it can do these kind of natural mistakes under pressure. Of course, this engine is improving every day because they are the scientists and researchers are keeping on increasing the data sets and giving him more games to practice on. So the more time passes, the better this engine is going to get in terms of how accurate its playing is compared to human beings. The objective here is for this engine is not to play the best move, but to play the most human-like move. It's a very interesting opponent. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you soon next week with Master Luis as well. He will join us on board with more exciting lessons and the challenges ahead of us. Thank you so much for watching.